ever stared at a piece of art that soothed your soul or made you feel some kind of way? For thousands of years, art has been one of the oldest expressions of the human condition. From the cave paintings of Borneo to Picasso's Guernica, his response to the bombing of a small Basque town in northern Spain, to the Nasty Women art show organized by Roxanne Jackson, to the abstract expressionist art of today created by my friend, Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. Today we're going to talk to her, and we're going to discuss her work and how she went from spiritual leader, she's still a spiritual leader in our community, to a collected, nationally collected abstract artist. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Greetings, everyone. This is DJ Tribal, and welcome to Tribal Soul Sessions for LPLA TV. And I am here today with my very dear friend, Reverend Frida Lanoix.
Yes.
What's up? She is listen, when I saw her artwork, I was blown away. And so I had to come here to see you, and I'm surrounded by all of this beauty. This room has turned into an art gallery.
Absolutely. My entire house.
Your entire house.
Yes.
Now, Rev, you married my wife and I.
I did.
You married a few of my friends. And I am just, like I said, blown away by this jump from being our spiritual leader to now being a collected, internationally collected, nationally collected artist.
Yes.
And tell me where this journey is taking you.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm blown away also. I mean, every time I do a piece, once it's over, I step back and I know that there is a higher energy that really does come through me. I told my daughter, well, first of all, my daughter said, "Mom, I can't believe it. I've never seen you pick up a brush to even paint a wall, no less,
right,
on canvas," right? And so what this has done for me is a couple of things. One is I live by, when you know that you don't know, then you're open to the possibilities.
Yes.
And this is just proof to me that the possibilities are endless, because you could not have told me that, Frida, when you turn 64, you're going to start picking up a brush and you're going to start painting and you're going to become this art. I would have been like, you are crazy, right? So I'm blown away each and every time with each piece that I do. I'm like, where does this come from? But what I've discovered is that my pieces are healing. And that kind of blew me away when I would do a piece and people would interpret it for their own healing or how they perceived it. I had this one piece that I had no intentions of letting go of selling, and when the lady said to me, "No, this represents my healing from molestation, my healing from being raped," then I knew immediately that piece no longer belonged to me. So it's this journey that I'm on, and the doors that it's opening, just like right now, we're sitting here having this conversation about my art. I'm like, this blows my mind, right?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic because you like I said, you're a spiritual leader in our community.
Yes.
You run an organization called Love at Work.
Yes.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I have been working in the community for over 35 years. And of course, that never leaves me. That's who I am. I am a spiritual person, and my purpose in life is to inspire or to motivate or just to kind of let you really begin to realize who you are and how great you are, and that no matter what it is that you've been through, it does nothing but enrich your life, right? I used to think, I'm Black, I'm a lesbian, I'm a woman, 3 strikes, I'm out. But that's not true. Being Black is, I love my Blackness.
That's
I love
right.
being who I am, and being a lesbian, how I identify sexually, is beautiful and perfect. And then I love this feminine energy of being a woman, because somehow with being a woman, that inner strength that we have to be able to make things happen. I don't look at myself as a strong Black woman, because honey, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of carrying the weight of the world, right? You know, on my shoulders. But I do know that I am a woman that's motivated and that's driven. But I also know that I know what drives me. And so to take all of that and not separate it, but allow it to come through me in a very creative way. And so my art represents my light, my darkness, my experiences, my pain, and my joy. And so that's my expression on canvas now.
And how did you get into the mood to pick up this paintbrush? I mean, what sparked that?
You know what? Okay, so what happened was, I like you said earlier, I've always loved color and I've always loved art, but I was not necessarily a collector of art. I would just like, if something spoke to me, you know, I would be, oh, I really like that, and I would get it. And so a friend of mine said to me, let's go to this art show, and I was like, okay, you know, we went. And so when we went, and as I was looking at the different expressions of art, I said to myself, wow, I think I might be able to do that. But not what they had done. Mm-hmm. I just thought, I think I could maybe create beauty, right? And so it was just almost like a fleeting thought in my mind. And so we left, and 2 weeks later, I remembered, I said to myself, oh, I remember I wanted to dibble and try this thing called art, like to paint, right? And so the next week I went and I bought a couple of canvases and I bought a acrylic paint kit. Okay. And I went out on my balcony and I just began to like kind of like draw or experiment or, you know, paint. But what got me, Chris, was how it made me feel. So it wasn't that I was so caught up with the outcome. I was really blown away about how it was making me feeling, the feelings that I was getting from it. Because when you look at life, very few things can hold your attention or make you live in the now or make you present for a considerable amount of time. And when I looked up, I had been doing this for like 7 hours without water, without wanting to eat, without thinking about my mortgage and that thing. It was just, I was focused on the focus, I was present, I was in the moment. And so I loved the way it made me feel. And so once I finished, my girlfriend came home and I said, oh my goodness, look what I did. And she was like, no, you didn't do that. No, honey, and you know, I'm committed. No, I really did that. So the outcome blew me away. But what really grabbed me was how it made me feel. This was freedom. This was something that I could do that did not require anyone but myself. And there's very few things in life you do that just simply depends on you. So I love the feeling. And so I said, let me try this again, you know? And so I loved it and I kept trying it and then, you know, different people kept saying, oh my God, did you do that? That's beautiful. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I said, well, let me just share it. And so I began to post it on Facebook, of course, and Instagram and all that good stuff. And then people started, excuse me, inboxing me saying, well, how much is that?
Right.
And I had never even thought about selling. Yes. I was like, what? You were one of my very first customers.
Like, exactly.
Hey, what? And so that's how organically this got started. Next thing you know, it just went everywhere.
It's amazing.
It is amazing and a miracle and Black girl magic.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. So now, where do you want to go with this art? I mean, I think it's every artist's dream to be internationally collected, maybe on a wall at a museum. I mean, I'm looking at some of your stuff, and I have thoughts of Basquiat. I have thoughts of, you know, like when I see this right here, this is amazing. The color, the depth of some of these, and to know that you just started.
At 64.
At 64, it is never, ever, ever too late.
It's not.
And you are showing that.
Yes.
Illustrating this today. So people, Get rid of your fear. Pick up a paintbrush. Pick up a camera. Whatever it is, creativity you want to do, make sure you get to it.
Exactly. That's exactly it. We are responsible for our lives, and I believe that wherever we are is where we have chosen to be, whether we are conscious of it or not. And most of us live unconsciously. And what this has demonstrated to me, what I've always believed, is that you create your own reality.
Absolutely.
And so this is me creating this reality that is something that I don't know anything about. So I don't really know that much about the art world. So it makes it like an adventure. It makes it exciting, because I think sometimes we get bored and we get tired of, doing the same thing over and over again. But like you said, we allow our fear, the opinion of others to stop us from really following our passion and our dream. I have a motto that says, your opinion of me is not my reality. So I don't really care what you think or what you feel. What's important is what I think and what I feel about myself, right? And so I really don't know. I'm following the art instead of, it's opening doors, because I'm being noticed, and people, it's just an amazing thing to get telephone calls or to be woken up and start your day off with a conversation about something that you're loving, about your passion. And so because of the passion and the love that I'm putting into it, people are noticing it, and so I'm drawing this into my world. So it's kind of doing its own thing. I've never really even thought about, I take that back. I remember one night sitting and thinking, oh my God, I don't know whose walls that these pieces are going to land on, but I just hope they feel the love and the passion and the joy and the energy that I put in each and every piece.
Beautiful. Do you have an exhibit coming up anytime soon?
You know what? Let me see. I do not have an exhibit. I just got back from doing an art show in San Diego this past weekend, and it was amazing. It was people, it's just amazing to me for people to be discussing something that I created, right? I'm like, I'm still in shock myself, right? I'm like looking, and I want to always be excited about it, right? And so I'm just sitting there, and people are, it was hanging on the walls, and people were discussing it, and they were putting their opinion to it, and I was just in awe, like, oh my God, this is something that I did on my kitchen table, on my dining room table, or on my patio, So I don't have anything right now coming up, but I do have people that do come over. So I do have private showings where if you're interested in something and you see something and you want to come by, because of the pandemic, of course, we're being very mindful and very cautious, but I do have private showings that I have in my home.
And do you have a website people can visit?
I
know
do.
We've got a number of your pieces on our site at lproject.org, lproject.org, but now where can people see your bigger?
Definitely Facebook. I post pretty much almost every day, because it's important for me that I continue to inspire people. So I usually, post things that will uplift you and inspire you. And I do put my art out there. And I also have on Facebook, it's Art by Alfreda, that you can find my pieces. And I do have a website, www.revfreda.com. So I do have a website that's up, and I'm on Instagram, Alfreda Lanoix.
Lanoix.
And that is spelled, of course, ALFREDA LANOIX, like X-ray.
That's right. You guys check Reverend Freda out. Her website again is revfreda.com, right? Revfreda.com, because that's what we call her, Revfreda.com, and you can find her on Facebook and Instagram at Alfreda Lanoix. And she's also written a book called Go to Hell, so you guys can pick that up, I'm sure, on Amazon, right? On Amazon, you guys support our Black, lesbian, queer artist, and she's one of our featured artists for Women's Freedom Festival that was hosted by, co-sponsored by the City of West Hollywood and the She Angels Foundations. And you can check out some of her pieces on thelproject.org. Rev Frida, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today. I would love to come back. I can't wait to buy another piece because, you know, I'm all about collecting art from my Black, lesbian, queer artists, and that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for spending time with us
Thank
today.
you so much for having me. It's been my honor. I love you so much. Thank you.
Love you too. See you guys soon.